The words hit me hard, like a sudden punch in the stomach. I woke up with a gasp, sweat covering my face. That scream, it sounded exactly like a child waking up from a terrible nightmare.
I rubbed my eyes and sat up in bed. My wife, Helen, was sleeping next to me, breathing quietly. It was just a dream, a bad memory playing tricks on me. But then the voice came again, clear and cold, right next to my ear. "Daddy, help me! I'm not scary. How many times must I repeat it?" I froze. I turned slowly, but nothing was there. I was alone in the bedroom. I remembered the strange conversation I had yesterday. I was walking home from work, thinking about my daughter, Allie. A small girl, maybe 5 or 6, stopped me on the sidewalk. She looked right through me with huge, sad eyes. "It's all about that day, September 23rd, 32 years ago when you were born," she had told me.
I was shocked. September 23rd was my birthday. Who was this girl, and how did she know that date? She looked at me sadly, and then she walked away. I felt a chill that day, a feeling that something was deeply wrong. I tried to forget it, but her words felt like a warning. Now, in the dark, I felt that same chill. The voice from the dream, the girl on the street, it was all mixing together with my deepest guilt. I got out of bed, pulling on a comfortable hoodie. I walked down the hall of our quiet 2-story house. I couldn't sleep now. The house felt too big, too empty. I stopped in the living room. On a small table, there was a framed photograph. It was Allie, my daughter. Allie died 3 years ago. She was only 2 years old. It was a terrible car accident. I remember every detail. I was driving and I wasn't careful enough. She died, but I survived. I always survive. I looked at the photo of her smiling face. She should have been 5 now. I always wonder, why her? Why not me? The guilt is a heavy weight I carry every minute. I heard some noise from the kitchen. Helen, Allie's mother, was already awake. She was making coffee near the kitchen island. The smell of coffee was strong, a normal, safe smell. It helped me breathe. I walked to the small bathroom near the back door. I needed cold water on my face to clear my head.
Part 3. The Mirror's Reflection. I turned on the faucet. The cold water ran into the white sink. I looked up at the mirror. My eyes were red from lack of sleep. I looked tired and scared. I splashed water on my face, took a deep breath, and looked back into the mirror. And then I saw it. It wasn't me. It was a reflection of something terrible standing right behind me. It was a small shadow, a distorted shape, like a child, but wrong. Its head was tilted, and its reflection was too dark, too empty in the bright bathroom light. It was looking at my reflection, not at me. My throat closed completely. My mind screamed, but no sound came out. My body was filled with a terrible paralyzing coldness, starting from my spine and spreading to my hands. I couldn't move. I couldn't turn around. I could only watch the horrible reflection in the glass. It stayed there, silent, just a distorted shadow of a little girl. Part 4. The Drag. Suddenly, the coldness was replaced by a heavy pressure. I felt a weight on my shoulders, strong and immediate. It wasn't the weight of a child. It was the weight of a cold stone slab. I screamed. I finally found my voice. It wasn't a word. It was a raw, primal noise of pure fear. I started pulling myself away from the sink, fighting against the invisible force. I knew what I had to do. I had to warn Helen. "Run to the kitchen!" I shouted, my voice hoarse and broken. I tried to run, but the force was too strong. Something heavy, cold, and unseen grabbed my ankles. It was pulling me down to the tiled floor. My hands scraped against the wall, trying to find purchase, but I was sliding backward, helpless. I shouted Helen's name, but my voice was weak. The pressure intensified. It felt like I was being stretched. I felt the cold, hard floor on my back. I was being dragged, slowly but surely, toward the kitchen door.
Part 5. The Smiling Wife and the Note. I reached the kitchen. I looked up. Helen was standing by the stove, holding her coffee cup. She was not running. She was not screaming. She was smiling. Her smile was quiet and calm, but her eyes were cold and distant. They were not the eyes of my wife. The invisible force stopped pulling. I lay on the floor, gasping for breath, looking up at the countertop. My gaze went immediately to the center of the counter. There was Allie's framed portrait, the same one from the living room, but now it was positioned strangely, facing me. Next to the photo, there was a piece of white paper, folded once. Helen didn't move, still holding the coffee cup. She just slowly raised her free hand and pointed to the note on the counter. I managed to push myself up slightly. My whole body was shaking, but I had to read it. I crawled forward, reached up with a trembling hand, and grabbed the note. The paper felt strangely warm. I read the handwriting. It was neat, like a child's careful writing. "Daddy, help me. It was very scary, but you couldn't help me. I died for this new life. I will take your whole life. You will be haunted by nightmares. Helen no longer loves me. I'm going to take her too." I dropped the note. My mind finally broke. I looked up at Helen. Her cold smile hadn't changed. She didn't run away. She didn't cry. She didn't help me. She no longer loved me. The ghost's words echoed in my head. Suddenly, Helen started walking toward me. She moved slowly, gracefully, like a dancer. She knelt down next to me on the cold kitchen floor. She reached out and touched my face. Her hand was warm, too warm, the same temperature as the note. Her smile widened, but her eyes were still empty.
"It's okay, Max," she whispered, her voice sounding calm and unnatural. "She's right. I haven't loved you for a long time. I have been waiting for her to come back." I looked into her empty eyes and knew that the nightmare was not over. It was just beginning. The ghost had not just come for me, but for everything I had. Now, years later, I live with the scars. I live with the nightmares. They found Helen a week later, far away, alone and quiet. She never spoke again. And sometimes, when I close my eyes, I hear the child's voice, clear as a bell. "Daddy, help me." I know she is still waiting.
You've just listened to Daddy, Help Me, a story of love, loss, and punishment that never ends. Remember, some voices from our past never truly disappear. They wait in the dark until we finally listen. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and come back soon for another dark tale for English learners. Until next time, sleep well if you can.